I come from many generations of very mean, quick-witted, strong, opinionated women.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
And soft little sweet husbands who just thought the world of them.
Oh! Ew!
And my dad and my grandfather both worshipped the ground that my mother and my grandmother walked on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. Today's video, guys, is, well, you know what you came for. And for our article story, a guy travels from a different country to the USA and immediately asks the question, why does dating suck so much in the USA? So, stick around for that, gentlemen. But before we get started, on Patreon, we just covered the Wall Awards ceremony, a ceremony in which we award the woman who has hit the wall the hardest of the entire month. So come join us for the price of 1/10 of an overpriced Starbucks coffee if you want to see that, and many more videos. But now, gentlemen, let's get started with our video.
I come from many generations of very mean, quick-witted, strong, opinionated women.
What a flex, eh, guys?
And soft little sweet husbands who just thought the world of them. Both my mother
Betas, you can call them betas.
and my grandmother are difficult women to be with. Not perfect people, but very intelligent, very beautiful, and very difficult. And they talk to my dad and my grandfather kind of crazy. And my dad and my grandfather both worshipped the ground that my mother and my grandmother walked on, especially my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandmother would be so fucking mean to my granddad and would just not like mean, but would just like make little remarks. Like, she ran that fucking ship and she was like, remember your place, go make that money, you bring it home. And he just loved it because he knew that he got this special little side of her that not many people got. He knew how she was with him behind closed doors and how sweet she was and how tender she was and like how affectionate she was. And he knew that he was one of the only people on this fucking earth that got to see that side of her. So whenever
Oh wow, what a privilege. What a privilege. I want to unalive myself because I'm not the one who gets that privilege. Am I the only one that understands how absolutely insane this is? Oh, she is absolutely mean to him in public and doesn't respect him at all, mocks him in front of everyone, behaves like a bitch. Oh, but at home, she can be so sweet. Like, guys, this is as if a man on public behaved and treated his girlfriend like she is a prostitute, alright? And treated her disrespectfully and shamed her in front of everyone and was controlling and manipulative. But at home, oh, he is so sweet towards her and he even kisses her. Wow. If we switch the narratives, the people will unironically sue the person in question. But because it's a woman, guys, we try to put it in this nice light of, well, she can be a bitch, but she can also be a sweetie. No, thank you. Miss me with that. I would rather want a woman that is good all the time, not someone that shames me in public, but well, that's just me.
So whenever she would act that way, he would be like, all right, sweetheart, like, I know the real you, and it's like our cute little secret. And he respected her. She wasn't some pick-me that was just like, I have to find my husband, da-da-da. Like, she ran shit. And he knew that if he ever wanted to slip up, he would lose her so quickly. And she was so confident and so...
Guys, I swear, it's like every word is a red flag. Every single word she utters is a massive red flag. So... of course, he had this constant feeling of walking on eggshells and had to put her on a pedestal and worship her and kiss the ground she walks on in order for her to stay with him. Of course, we can have a real big certainty that this woman in question cheated on him because women don't respect betas like this, that have no self-respect, that can't put women in their place and only abide by each and every the men they have. They don't respect men like this. If this were the case, guys, if this were the case that women respect these guys, simps will get all the women, right? We will have chads being unsuccessful, and simps that are willing to sacrifice their mother on the altar to be with these women, they will be the one that get the most women. But notice this little fun thing in reality, that is, simps don't get shit. Simps don't get women. Women don't respect men like these. They don't like them. They don't feel attracted. It's a nick for them, and rightfully so. So just miss me with this whole thing. This is not a healthy relationship.
Forthcoming that she would have easily replaced him. So he made sure to keep her happy, and he let her be mean to him because he knew the special side of her that only he got to see, and really, really cherished and valued that. And those are the kind of men that I like. The men who appreciate earning, that behind every strong woman, there's a soft side to her that he needs to earn. And it's more special because he has to earn it, and not everyone gets to see it.
Oh, wow, guys. I wish for a woman like that. I don't want no, submissive, modest, humble woman that is pleasant to be around. No, I want a boss, babe, empowered. Excuse me. I can't lie without coughing. I want to feel like I'm constantly walking on eggshells. I feel value from knowing that I'm easily replaceable and can be replaced at any moment. I just enjoy that, So, wow, I can't wait to be with a woman like this. This woman is a psychopath and needs to be put behind bars. Holy hell, let's move away from this woman, guys, and never cover her again. Jeez, the red flags. Now, let's continue with this one.
Where you can find successful and rich guys to have a date with. Coming from a girl who had like 50 first dates in last year with mostly finance guys, CEOs, entrepreneurs, really cool guys. And the most common questions from you is, of course, where do we find them? I'm ready to share all my secrets. So I find all of my men on dating apps. I know many of you believe that there are no such men on dating apps, but you just need to know the places, and you need to know like kind of the signs, like how to detect that kind of man, how to understand it's the man for you, and not to fall for some guy who will potentially do 50-50 on the first date. So there are two good dating apps for that kind of man, Raya and Hinge. Raya is a dating app where you can get only by invitation, and Hinge, everyone can get on Hinge, but for some reason the selection of people in there is really cool, and it takes a lot to make a profile. Like, you need to fulfill all the prompts, to put all the photos, and only kind of goal-oriented man who has something in their mind and who are like ambitious and interested and curious in life are ready to do so. Also, I'm sitting on Bumble, but honestly it takes a lot to find that kind of man in there. It's just more time and more people. Same thing with Tinder. I'm not sitting on Tinder. So in your place, I would focus on Hinge and Raya. There are also dating apps like Luxy or League.
All right. There are thousands. So, as you already know, our article story is about a guy asking why dating sucks in the USA. We kind of spoiled it, but that's the reason. Women dating the top percentage of men. These men are clever enough to know that these women don't love them. Love is never part of the equation. These women don't love them for who they are, nothing special. They love their money. That's what they love. And these men love about them their kitty. That's the deal. It's a trade deal that is the same as professional institution, right? It's just, let's exchange. I have fame, I am successful or attractive or rich or whatever, and you are a common 304, and I'm interested in what's between your legs, you're interested in what's in my pocket, let's do it. And the rest of the men, they don't have options, because all the women flee towards the top percentage. Now, to be fair, you don't need these options, alright? These women, the trash takes itself out, as I've mentioned on the channel, that these women are doing a service to the common man by being so delusional, in the sense that you're dodging bullets and missing red flag women just because they don't even feel interested in you. The problem rather with men is not that we want to deal with such women. The problem is that the women we want to deal with, the traditional ones, the good ones, the ones that make for good partners, they are in incredibly low numbers and most of the time already taken. So there you have it.
which are meant to be for successful people only, but honestly they do not work as good. Lexi gives me like kind of a scam vibes, and Leak, the choice for the day, you have only like 3 guys you can match with. It's too little, and most of them are on other dating apps. So like that, share with me which dating apps you use, or do you prefer to meet people offline?
Well, with the current dating scene, I prefer to meet no one at all because it's crap. But now, gentlemen, let's move on to our third one. And you know what the third one is? It's a positive one, guys. I'm going to give you a little break with these harpies. Let's move on to a good one, a positive one. Only wholesome vibes, gentlemen. Oop, what's that? A video currently unavailable? Yeah, guys, this positive TikTok that I had picked got taken down. I think that TikTok saw it and was like, no positive crap here. Basically, it was a woman sharing how, women just pick a good man with good morals and good values and move in to the countryside and have a bunch of children and leave the old style of living and, miss all these dating apps and all that. Good advice, right? Wholesome things to say. And of course, it got taken down because... no, only crap is allowed on TikTok, alright? No wholesome stuff. So, gentlemen, now let's move on, to our article story that is titled, "Why is dating so hard in the US? I grew up in a different country and moved here at 24. I remember in my country, I didn't have big problems dating. If you were at least average looking, had ambitions, / worked hard, and had basic good manners, most girls / women will be fine with dating you. Then I moved here and saw that potential partners cared too much about minute details. The number of cuts you have, the fish you can catch, the music you like, etc. People tend to expect perfect chemistry / alignment in every single aspect of life, which is extremely rare. In the previous country, I wasn't rejected by women because I liked pop over R&B or a different type of dog breed from the one they liked. They didn't think such details were significant enough to decide who to date." Do you relate, John? Anyway, I find it interesting that although people are super picky when dating this side, divorce rates are very high compared to the country I'm talking about and even to the world in general. Why are the divorce rates high when people have sifted through and turned away hundreds of potential partners and selected their partner extra carefully? Surprisingly, the countries with less picky people have less divorces, by the way. Oh, really now? Well, not surprised there. But I'll answer the question, why are the divorce rates high even when these people have supposedly sifted through and turned away thousands of people to meet their soulmate? Well, first off, you have to consider that a lot of these marriages are women, quote-unquote, settling down with a better simp provider. They don't respect him, they don't like him, they cheat on him probably the second month. If they don't cheat on him, they just straight up divorce him because they don't respect that man and they never did. So that's one reason. It's women that are of age deciding to keep switching divorces like they switch napkins, you know what I mean? Also, the second reason is because this whole thing of dismissing people because I'm not willing to settle, I know what I want, is just it's a dummy, it's a bait. It's not real. These people just make up stuff. Well, when I say people, I mean mostly women. They are the ones that are picky. They have these criteria that it's impossible to fulfill. Even if you fulfill all the ones she supposedly wants, she's gonna just come up with new ones. There's always a new thing that they want. It's impossible to please them, right? So this whole thing of being extra picky and very, selective, it's a massive red flag. But let's check some of the comments. Because people date like they were buying a car. Oh, that person must be this, and this, and they forget that themselves are far from perfect, absolutely true. And that people sometimes bring not what you want, but what you need. Yeah, it's true. A lot of these women, guys, that are massive red flags, they don't need what they want. What they need is a good guy, but those are the ones they dismiss. But you need to give people a chance to get to know them. Also, dating is not a test. If someone says something that you don't like, ask why. Don't just dump the person. You don't know why people did or said X. There might be a perfect good reason. Obviously, if the person makes you feel uncomfortable, like it's harassing you, then it's another story. Well, the reason, gentlemen, for this is that women they can dismiss without having a care in the world, because they have many options, right? Even the overweight women who've never stepped on a gym, who've never even, who've never tasted a salad, even they have multiple options. So they don't care. They can dismiss one guy. Oh, I don't like the shoes you're wearing for our date. I can dismiss you. I have other options, right? So this feeds into this selective bullshit. And also the dating apps, of course, highly benefit women. They have thousands of options there. So they don't really care to dismiss you for the biggest bullcrap ever. Another one says, this is my unscientific, uneducated, anecdotal observation, so take this with a grain of salt. I've dated probably a ratio of 50-50 foreign versus American. I think one glaring reason is Western European and I guess Southeast Asia have better social safety nets. So unless they are just materialistic, they care for how much money a guy makes is less. The care of how much money a guy makes is less. None of the European women I dated cared how much money I made, but the American women seem to always want more. Not saying all in their direction, not saying all in either direction, but it seemed to skew that way. The Euros just like that. I was a thoughtful, interesting, good-looking guy, but with the American, I never felt like I was enough. What do you think about that, guys? I don't think really it has to do with the, the social economic way of living, because let's face it, all these places he mentioned, Europe, America, Southeast Asia, they're not really poor places. It's not like women are starving for money. They don't have options. In fact, it's the opposite. In places where women are poorer, they tend to value men more and they tend to stick to them more. It's places that have a quote-unquote better social safety net that women are extremely picky, if you ask me. Because people these days overthink everything to the ninth degree and cripple themselves with the millions and counting stupid little dating rules that they have made up for themselves that only serve to hinder and stymie their ability to meet people and form meaningful relationship. Another one says, the last one we'll read, it's a numbers game. Most people in the US are overweight, so even decent looking girls who aren't overweight have access to top guys. So as an average man, it's harder to find women to settle with unless you lower your standards. Yeah, unless you lower your standards, meaning you can date as an average guy fat chicks and women that are from 2 to 3 out of 10. That's the women you can choose. And maybe not even them. So, well, there you have it, gentlemen. Are you surprised at the results, the answers that we've come up with? Let me know your opinions down below. If you want to stick your middle finger in YouTube's polls, please like and subscribe, because the algorithm has been quite disgusting, to be honest with you. And also follow me on Patreon if you want to see more content. Gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for making Ampus Day better. I'll see you in the next one.